There was a tree no one ever planted, not because it was rare, but because it grew where people did not remain. It could be found along slow-moving waters, in lands that promised no harvest, in places that never became home. Children mistook it for a willow, farmers avoided it. And yet, when a bridge had to hold, when a riverbank gave way, when a city was born on water, it was its wood that was sought. When cut, the alder changed color. The pale wood turned red, like flesh exposed to air. They said it remembered the mud it came from. They also said it was not a good omen. But the alder did not rot. The longer it stayed in water, the harder it became. It supported what passed above it without ever being seen. Ancient pile dwellings rested on alders driven into the bottoms of lakes. Cities built on water lived thanks to trunks no one would ever have called by name. When humans learned to build without looking at the ground, they stopped remembering that tree. The alder still grows today, not in photographed places, not in gardens. It stands where footsteps slow, where the ground sinks slightly underweight, where water holds time still. It does not ask to be remembered. It does what it has always done. It holds. In the 13th century, when cities were not yet built on paper but on risk, there were places no one wanted to inhabit. Still water, low fog, ground that could not bear weight. Places where foundations did not last a generation. And yet, cities were born precisely there. Chroniclers rarely wrote of it, but those who dug in the wet soils of northern Italy, along rivers and in lagoons, knew one thing. Stone sinks, brick yields, wood rots. All but one. The alder was cut in low forests, those that provided no noble timber. Forests that smelled of water and iron. The wood seemed weak, light, almost useless. But when it was driven into the mud below the waterline, it did not die. It changed. In Venice, between the 13th and 14th centuries, thousands of alder trunks were planted into the floor of the lagoon, not to be seen, not to endure above the surface, but to hold everything else. Houses, churches, towers. Istrian stone rested on piles no one would celebrate. Merchants spoke of gold and spices, doges of power, priests of eternity. Below, in the dark, there was the alder. Carpenters knew it well. They said it bled when cut, that it turned red like living flesh. Some made the sign of the cross. Others said it was a wood that remembered too clearly where it came from. In the 14th century, during the Great Plagues, the alder still grew along secondary canals, near hospitals, mass graves, and the edges of cities. It was not planted in cloisters, but at the margins, where ordered life ended and uncertainty began. In the centuries that followed, as useful forests were exploited until they disappeared, the alder remained, always in the same place, always ignored. When modern engineering learned to use concrete, no one asked for it anymore. When cities stopped listening to the ground, its name stopped circulating as well. It remained only in technical documents, in footnotes, in submerged piles that still today support what walks above them. The alder is not a tree of visible memory. It is a tree of structural memory, the kind you do not tell stories about, but without which everything collapses. It still grows where the water does not leave, where time stagnates, where no one would build anything anymore. And yet, if a city endures, it is often because beneath it there is something that never asked to be remembered.